Hi, good morning. Happy Christmas Eve. I'm so excited for Christmas to be here and to be done with all of the chores and the work, and then just to sit back and enjoy the time with family and friends and, um, just sharing, especially in this year. It's been crazy, and we need something a little that we're used to, something comfortable and common and family and friends. So I'm here today. When I promised I would do this appliance video, I didn't realize it was Christmas Eve, but here I am doing it a little bit late this morning. Um, but I wanted to share with you one story from my past. When I was a young teenager, my very first job was at Best Products. I don't know if any of you in this area remember that, but Best Products, I sold jewelry at like, I don't know what I was, 15, 16 years old and selling jewelry. Knew nothing, right? And I was at Christmas time. They probably were desperate for help. I worked at the jewelry counter and I still remember this to this day so vividly. A man came in and looked at this string of pearls, which, you know, however many 30 some years ago was like $22, right? And he said, are those real? And my teenage self, like, I didn't want to admit I had no idea. Like, I don't know if they're real. I'm here hawking jewelry and nobody taught me anything. So I said, yeah, they're real. He's like, wow, that's a really good price for those. And I said, yes, it is. You should get them. I wasn't on commission. There was no reason for me to do that. Just my immature ego that I didn't want to say, let me ask my manager. I don't even know. So, all of that to say that I don't know the answers to your questions about appliances. And I hate coming to you and telling you that. But the things I want to tell you about appliances, it's not what you asked. And so there are two things to that. Number one, I'm going to find somebody to answer your questions on here, on a live. I'm going to invite somebody to a live that will FaceTime with me, or I'll figure out how to do that. Early in January or February, I'll bring somebody in to answer your questions. I have them all logged, like specific use, do people use upper microwaves, the drawer microwaves? Do you just put it away on a shelf? I do think you need to plan for it somehow. The controls, I know Mark asked about the controls. I don't know. I don't know anything. Brands, I don't know brands. Where does the ice maker go from Tara? I can tell you my personal preference, but that means nothing in this context. So my point being, I'm going to tell you what I think you should have asked, and I wish you would have asked, and that I can tell you with all confidence, I can tell you these answers. So, process of appliances. First of all, when choosing your appliances, our clients, that is their very first selection to make, the very first one. It tells us so much about um, our budget. Are we going to break the budget? Are we going to stay in budget? Are we going to come under budget with most things? It tells us that. It tells us the quality of things people are going to choose and what compromises you're going to make. Um, so when we set our clients off to choose their appliances, first of all, we send them with somebody that does know all of those answers. This is somebody's full-time job. They know all of these answers. They study appliances 8 hours a day, 52 weeks a year. So we connect you with an appliance guru, and you'll go through their showroom somehow. Let me back up. You'll have a budget allowance. That budget allowance is set by the builder typically. And we, in the 4 construction projects we have going on, I went back and I looked through our budget estimates for those projects, and it was interesting. No matter where we are in scope, like we have projects in scope from 600,000 to 2 million. Every project is the percentage of those projects is from 2% to 3.5%. That's what the appliance budget is, no matter where you are um, in the budget of your entire project. So that's 2 to 3.5% of total construction project. That does not include the land, just the total construction project for the house. So I thought that was really interesting, and I love knowing those parameters. Like that's kind of, it is not where you have to be, but it's good to know what a general rule of thumb might be for budget. So you have a budget, we send you to the store, you go out there, you make your selections. What I recommend is that you do tell them your budget. Some people want to kind of play that game. Like if I give them a budget, they're going to upsell me and I'm always going to go over. But that's not true. If you go to a good place, you tell them your budget, they want to get in your budget because that makes everybody happy. And they know this is the beginning of a big project. I think you should make a list of everything you like. The person that takes you around and answers all of these big questions you have, they are going to keep a list and they can send you, after you leave, they will email you a list of all of the products that you've selected. So I say select all of them. Don't just pick. You don't have to narrow it down that day. If you know exactly what you want, do that because then you only have one project to do. But you don't have to select, you don't have to narrow it down that day. I like it when clients get an entire list of like 25 things or 10 things or just their 3 things. But if you get more things, then you can sit down at night and look through the specs and look through the prices and see what are the discounts. What are the delivery timelines? You need to know that too, because if you're on a fast track, you need to know what can get delivered in time. Especially during COVID times, some of the plants are backed up, deliveries backed up, and that may make a difference on what you pick. The other thing to find out, which is for people doing custom builds, you need to know from your builder who's literally buying the appliances. Is that within your construction? Is that within your construction budget? And in your draw system from the bank, if you have a construction loan, is it all going to be in that? Are you paying cash for it? How does that all work? Who literally is buying it? You should know that before you go to the store so that the store knows who to contact and who to send their estimates to. Also, if they're holding your appliances for you, like if you're buying something off the floor or if you're getting some kind of deal that needs to be bought before it's really ready, who's storing that for you? Because that can be builders don't always have storage areas. We're building a new office in a warehouse, which I'm glad that we're going to have some storage area for our clients. But the other question is who's installing it? Some builders install appliances. Sometimes the appliance store wants to install appliances, and sometimes nobody wants to take responsibility for it. I don't know why. It seems odd to me, but just make sure you ask that question. It may be a very simple answer, and at least you'll know. Then the last thing you need to find out from your builder is who is going to communicate the appliance specs to the cabinet people. So that's why this is the first selection that you make, because you have to know every single appliance you want built into your kitchen before you meet with the cabinet people. That just helps the process tremendously. Instead of making lots of revisions and things like that, just to keep that process right, you choose your appliances first, decide those based upon budget and timeline, and then get those details, all those specifications to the cabinet designer, kitchen designer, whether you're doing a pre-made kitchen and cabinet or if you're doing custom, they all need the appliance specs first. I think that is all I have. Somebody had asked earlier in the week about where to go to select appliances here in the Dayton area where we are building. We typically use Appliance Gallery. There are a couple others in the Facebook group. We listed a couple other people listed other places, which I totally think you should go and check out. And I'm actually I we're doing a spec house in the spring, and we're gonna try build.com. I'm curious about their process and pricing and how things get delivered, and I want to learn that for my clients in the future. So I'm going to be doing that, and I'll update you and see, let you know how build.com goes. I think that's going to be the way instead of all of these big showrooms. Although touching and trying and opening doors makes a big difference. So I get that too. So that's all I have for appliances. I promise you I will get the real questions that you want answered. It's just not me. I'm not going to tell you the pearls are real. Um, so happy holidays to you. I am off next week, and my office people asked, "Are you off, or are you like just not taking meetings off?" And I said, "I am off. I'm not taking phone calls, not taking meetings, and I'm not doing a Facebook Live. So I will see you in the new year." And I have a whole list of things to talk about and to help you through. And as always, please post any questions on the channel, in the group channel. I love seeing those notifications come up, and I truly want to help. So happy holidays. Bye.